So because this is always something I think is very interesting, because I think entrepreneurs, they always say the release of the ego, but depending on where you're at in the business, the ego is sometimes the thing that actually tells yourself I'm worth it. And sometimes there's like this fake side of that. So do you think, what have you learned through the ego of that? Because that's also releasing the ego of what you're kind of talking about. So saying, look, it's not about me. But in some cases, when you don't at least have something about you, you are unnegotiable, meaning that you probably don't have your negotiation skills aren't very strong because there's not a forward thinking. So where is that barometer, or where is that piece for you?
I think one thing that we all struggle with, that I struggle with, I won't speak for anybody else, however, I know it's common, is doing things to feel valuable rather than being valuable and then doing things. So for example, what I mean by that is when you talk about ego, what I hear and the way that I process that is I show up every day knowing that I am valuable and that I'm here for a reason, and that what I do, people need. Mm-hmm. And it's a disservice for me to not show them what the other side can look like. However, it can be really easy to get to a place where you're operating from a transactional state and everything just becoming about a transaction. And so here's the easiest example. I went to a business summit about 4 weeks ago. There's a gentleman, his name's Wes Watson. You may have heard of him. He spent 10 years in a California state penitentiary, and now he helps people completely transform their life. Came out of prison, I think 30-year business. They're about to do 10 million.
Wow.
He's jacked, tatted, bald head, and every other word is the F word out of his mouth. And he came across my YouTube channel once when I was watching a video, and it was an ad, and he's yelling at me and calling me names and this, that, and the other. And I was like, what is going on? Why is this guy yelling at me? Anyways, he comes to this business summit and he gives this presentation, not presentation, he gives this talk. And he said something that completely changed my life. He said, every effing day I wake up and I post. I don't miss a post. 2:45 a.m., I post. After I work out, I post. At night, I post. He goes, the difference between you and me is that I do it when I don't feel like it, but you wake up and you don't feel like it because you're tired or you're stressed or you don't feel good. And he was like, what you don't realize is there is somebody on the other side of that post in your message that's depressed, anxious, or about to kill themselves, that desperately needs to hear your message, but you're too selfish to put it out. Ooh. And that was when I realized that it's not about the views, the likes, the sales, the revenue. It's about the one person that needed to see or hear what I had to say for that day. And so for me, when I say stop thinking about myself, that's what I mean. Like my ego prevents me from showing up because like I just don't feel like it.